Welcome to this today's presentation. So let me just introduce myself. So my name is Shubham Mourya. So I'm a QA software engineer here at Testpoint. So in today's presentation, we'll talk about the integration between C# and Vansah, which we call as C# Vansah binding. So we are excited to introduce you to this powerful tool that enhances your test management capabilities and streamlines your automation project. So in this, world of software testing and automation, effective test management is crucial for ensuring the quality and efficiency. So, and that's where, Vansah comes in. So Vansah is a robust test management platform that provides comprehensive features such as organizing test cases, executing test runs, and generating detailed reports. But what makes C# Vansah binding so special is basically it bridges the gap between your automation project and the Vansah test management tool. So in this presentation, we'll talk about what is C# Vansah binding, why C# Vansah binding, and then we will have a live demonstration on it. And then we'll go for like Q&A. What is C# Vansah binding? So C# Vansah binding is just a class file that contains functions which are responsible for calling Vansah APIs and sending the test results to Vansah for Jira. Within the C# binding, there are a lot of functions that will help us in the task of like such as creating the test runs, logging the test results, adding the screenshots in the test runs, and maintaining the test properties as well. So I'll go why C# Vansah binding. So first of all, is C# language compatible? Okay, and also we have another Vansah binding for Java as well, and it's easy to integrate. Easy integration with the APIs, right? And we can also customize the function inside the binding as well. So if the person knows about C#, then he probably add more features, like add more APIs into this, and then he can utilize all those things by using the Vansah binding. Vansah binding supports adding the screenshot to the test logs. By the term test log means adding the screenshot of the test steps of a test case. Okay, so that is also supported by us. Basically, what we do is we are actually bridging the gap which we have in between the automation project and Vansah test management system. We're just filling that up by using this binding function. So next, what we'll do is I'll just request Mohana to share her screen, and so that we can start with our demonstration where we will introduce you about why we do exactly need Vansah binding.
Hello everyone. Now I'm going to demonstrate the Vansah binding. So I'm just sharing my screen. So yes, now we start with the test case, which we have already linked to an issue, which is test-1 is an issue. And here test-C1 is an test case key. So I'm just give an overview of this test case. So now I'm going to demonstrate the two things here. First, I'm going to automate the particular test case without Vansah and updating those results manually in Jira. And the second thing, I'm going to automate the same test case with integrating the Vansah binding in the C# framework and how it will see the difference between the updating results into the Jira. So in this test case, I have a simple steps. So first step is which we need to open the Selenium Vansah web application. So here is the URL, and the expected result would be the user should be able to navigate the particular URL. And the second, we just try to click the try now button in the particular page and checking whether the Atlassian Marketplace page has been navigated or not. So these are the two steps which I'm going to automate here. So we have an function here, so which we normally automate the test cases. So I'm just explaining here. So I'm just creating an instance for the Chrome driver. And after that, here the test case started. So in this first step, I'm just validating the particular URL is launched. And here we gave the test condition by checking the URL as equal to the what is expected thing. So we just gave the assertion here, but if the test condition is not matched, so if it is not expected, then it should throws the fail assertion. And the second thing, the second step would be I'm just clicking the try now button here, And after that, it is checking whether the Atlassian marketplace is launched. So if it not match with the expected one, and it will show the assertion, and also it will show up with some message. So this is the thing we are just going to automate here. So for that, I'm just right click this project. So before we need to do is we need to give this annotation here so that it will pick up this function and it will execute. So I'm just right click this project, and by clicking the run test, it's once the build succeeded, it will try to execute the particular test case. So now it gets launching the Selenium Vansah.io, and it is checking the first condition whether the URL is launched or not. And now it's try to click the try now button, and now the marketplace Atlassian has been launched. So yes, so here the result is URL is matched. So this is the positive flow. The same we just going to check with the like some invalid data. So I'm just changed the URL with the mismatched thing. So now I'm going to test again whether the particular test case could be failed. So now its build has to be complete, and once it's completed, then it will try to fetch the particular function. So yes, now it will launch the URL. Again, it try to click the try now button. So yes, now the particular URL is launched. But now the URL is not matched because there is mismatch between the expected value. So here what you have to do is these two flows, you have to map all those things in Jira. So you need to upload those results in Jira, right? So for that, what you have to do, you just need to create a new test run. And after that, you need to update those results by step. So yes, so here you need to give your actual result. So in first step, URL is matched, and you have to save this, and you have to update the result as passed. And same as second step, the URL is not matched. Once again. So now the URL is not matched as the failed scenario, and you have to fail this step. And even though if you need to fail any step, then you have to attach the screenshot also. So you have to do all these manual steps here to track your automation results. Even though for all the automation framework, we have the reporting utilities, all those things, but we need to track or whole project insights in the one centralized data. So that's why we came up with the Vansah binding, which we need to integrate with the C# binder. It will automatically send the automation results to the Jira. So now I'm going to showcase you how the Vansah binder work here so that you know the importance of Vansah binding. So for that, we have like step-by-step process. First, you need to know the tools and languages. So for that, you have some basic knowledges in C#, and then you need Jira Cloud Workspace with Vansah installed. So this link navigates to the Atlassian marketplace from where you are going to get this Vansah. So you need to install it in your Jira. So the next, the prerequisite, you have to, so you have some of the prerequisites. So the first step is you have to generate the Vansah Connect token. So for that, so using this Vansah Connect token, you are able to access the Vansah's API endpoints. So here we have some steps to access your API key. First, you need to log in your Jira project and click on apps, go to Vansah application, then click on settings and go to Vansah API token option. Here we have a option like create API token. So I'm just show you here. So how it will be. So go to apps, and then in your Vansah application, you have to click the settings, and then you have the Vansah API token option. So by clicking here, you have an option like create API token. And then, yes, you have to create it here. So I'm just copied it and take a copy of this for the future use. So we just need to use it in our Vansah binding. So the next step would be at least one test case linked to one Jira issue. So here the link navigates to how you are going to link the test cases to Jira. So you have to open the issue from Jira, go to Vansah test management and click on link. So this picture shows you inside the Vansah test management, you have an option to link. This is in the issue screen, and also in the folder screen, you have an option to link test case to one particular issue. So we have already linked the test case to the particular issue. And the next step, you have to download the Vansah API binding for C# from the GitHub. So this link navigates to the GitHub from where you need to download this Vansah node.cs. So we have just created for the demo purpose here, and we have an option to download the Vansah binding even for the C# and Java. So for that, you just navigate to docs.vansah.com. You just search for API binding. So here it shows the results. So from this link, you are going to download the binding for C# and also for the Jira. So I have downloaded the Vansah node.cs already. And the next step, you need to add the dependencies for your framework. For example, here we use the Selenium. So if you have any issues in the dependencies, so here are the steps you have to follow to install those dependencies. So for that, you just go to the project and manage NuGet packages option in Visual Studio. So in that, you have to search for the dependencies and install it using this option. So this is the steps you have to follow to install those dependencies. So next, we are going to see the step-by-step process. So first, you need to include Vansah node.cs into your project. So once you download it from the GitHub, you just need to add it here. So for that, you just right-click it and go to Add an existing item. So from where you need to add the Vansah node.cs into your automation framework. So once you added, you need to connect your token, which you have generated from the Vansah, into your Vansah node.cs file. So I have copied it here. So yes, so this is the Vansah node.cs. I'm just give the overview of this. So here we have the endpoints which we have used in the Vansah binding, and here you need to paste your token. And we have an option like update Vansah. So here, if you want to send the results to the Vansah, then you need to give it as 1. But if sometimes, if you, in the automation framework, if you're working in the some maintenance work, or if you're creating new test scripts, or if any debugging purposes you have used it there, then at that time you don't want to send the results to the Vansah, right? So for that, you just need to update it as 0. So at that time, there is whatever the automation results, it is not getting updated in the Jira. And here some of the variables and functions which we have used for the Vansah binding is showed here. And the next step, you need to provide your Jira issue key, test case key, and the result. So these 3 things you have to provide it in your function. So for that, you must link at least one test case, uh, even if it is a Jira issue key or a test folder, but you need to link at least one test case. So here the like sample snippet, how you're going to provide your issue key and test case key and whatever the result it is. So I'm just showed it here. I'm just reviewing this annotation, and we have a function to do the quick test for a test case from an issue. So the quick test is nothing but it is just updating the overall result. It is not considering the step-by-step process. It's just updating the overall result. So for that, we need to assign values to the variables. So in test case, we have to give our test case key. So as I already told, so this is an issue key. So in which we have a test case. So this is a test case key. This test case is linked to an particular issue. So I'm just assigning those values here. So test-c1 is a test case and test-1 is an issue key. And here we have some of the properties like even sprint, environment, and release. We have some of the properties from which we are able to differentiate the test cases. So for example, if you are running this test case in UAT environment, and that result would be different, and if you are running this particular test case in system environment or particular sprint, then that result would be different. So we have an properties also. From that you are able to send the results to the Jira. So I'm just gave it as UAT. And next, I'm just assigning, setting values to the test execute, which is an instance of the Vansah node. And after that, I'm just calling a function, which is add quick test from Jira issue. So for that, we have passed two parameters, so which is a test case key and the result, which we need to pass it here. So I'm just go with an some positive flow. So I'm just go with an past status and show you how it is reflected in the Jira. So for that, I need to give an test annotation here so that it will pick the function and execute. Just save it and right click this and run test. So now once build succeeded, it will try to pick up the function and execute. So yes, now it executed and see the quick test, new test run has been created. So the next step would be run your test. And after that, you have to check your Jira instance for the issue related to the run. I'm just show you by refreshing the page without selecting the sprint and my environment I gave as UAT. And see by tool tipping here, you are able to see in which test ran and what is the status of the particular test case, who executed those test case, and against which issue it is executed, and what is the environment and testing, all should show by over the tooltip. And the second function, we just going to demonstrate it here, the sample test case which we have executed previously without Vansah binding, and now I'm show you how it will work with by integrating the Vansah binding here. So here I'm just creating an instance for the driver and assigning the values to the test case variable and the issue key, and I'm just updated the environment assist to just show the differentiation. And after that, I'm just setting the property values to the test execute, which is an instance of the Vansah node. And I'm just calling the function add test run from Jira issue. So from this function, it is just create a new test run. You know how I'm just showed it manually here. So by clicking this, one second, by clicking this and create new test run, right? So this process will be worked out here. So by adding by add test run from Jira issue function, we just passing the test case alone, so it will create a new test run, and here the test case started. So we just validating the particular URL is launched correctly or not. So if it is matched with the expected one, then we just log the particular result. So for that we have a function like add test log. In that we are passing the some parameters, so which is related to the result. So it is, if it is working as expected, then the result will be passed, and the comment, actual comment which you need to update in your Jira. So that's the thing you need to give here. And also you need to give a step ID, so for which step you need to update the results and actual comment. And here this, if you need any screenshot for particular step, then you have an option to give it as true. And if you don't want to add the screenshot for the particular step, you just make it as false. And also you need to pass the driver instance. So the same as else part, the only thing is if the particular condition is not working as expected, then you need to mark the status as failed, and the actual result which is related to this particular status and the same step. And again, you need to have the screenshot, then you have to make it as true, then the driver instance. So after that, the second step would be you need to click the try now button, and I'm checking whether the Atlassian marketplace has been launched correctly or not. So for that also, we just calling the test log function. The only difference here is the actual result related to the particular test step, and here the test step would be 2 because this is the second step, and same we need to add the screenshot things and the driver instance. So this is for the else part, which is happening, which is not expected the conditions, so we just passed it as failed. And after validating these two steps, the driver get closed, and after that, the terminating the driver instance. So this is how we just going to run this one. So for that, we need to give the annotation as, once again, so we need to give this annotation as test, and I need to remove this one because we already executed this. So now I'm just right click this option and run test. So once it builds succeeded, then it will try to pick up this function. So it is the executing. Once it's loaded, it's try to click the try now button. So yes, now it's clicks and it's navigate to the Atlassian marketplace. So yes, now you just see here the test run has been created and also the test logs for the two steps we have gave, right? So the test logs for this test step has been successfully created. And just show here by refreshing this page, the environment I gave as sys, and it's the same like past, all those things, but the differentiation I'm just show here by viewing the test run. So yes, so here the actual result, what we gave in our automation framework for the particular step, it gets updated directly, and also this results for the particular step has been updated, and also you are able to see the screenshots in the attachment folder. See, so this is the first step screenshot, and also the second step, the Atlassian marketplace screenshot would be there. So yes, so this is how, so what we previously done was we need to update manually those results and actual does all those things, but using this Vansah binding to the your framework, it will automatically update all those results, actual results, even those screenshots within a single step of code. So here, instead of manually logging all those test outcomes in Jira, Vansah binding, enables seamless integration and instant transferring your test results to Jira issues. Even the integration is reusable across the multiple projects, saving time and effort when onboarding the new projects also. And so yes, here we have an available functions which we have used for the Vansah binding. So add quick test from Jira issue and also with the test folders. And we have some of the functions like, add test run from Jira issue, add test logs. You are able to update the test logs. If you want to remove the current test log or test run, we have a functions for that. And also we have some of the functions for the adding test properties, even if it is an sprint, release, environment, so anything else. So this is the functions we are going to use in the Vansah binding. So if you have any questions, suggestions, or any other request, please feel free to contact us on community link and also with the customer portal. Thank you.
Yeah. So if you guys have any questions related to the current topic, please feel free to ask.
Hi, Shubham and Mohana. Thank you so much. It was really very wonderful session to go through the Vents binding. I just have two questions. One is related to this automation run. So, do we have any attributes in Vansah that can show whether the test run was created by automation or manual?
No. Currently, we don't have any kind of attribute or tags related to that. But maybe we can add this as a feature. Yeah. So
Yeah,
definitely,
maybe
but
that
currently we
would
don't have
be.
anything.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Yeah, maybe that would be like relevant to refer in future, because if we have any issues with the test run, we can definitely detect that whether it was in failure with the automation script or if it was manually run, then it would be easier.
But what you can do is you can just in the environment, you can add your own custom environment like that UAT automation, right? And if you run with those test properties, it will be easier to identify which which test run belongs to which, either from the automation or manual, you know.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you have,
we can,
yeah.
yeah, we can have that workaround. Yep, definitely. Yep, thanks. And another question was just regarding the automation framework. So you have used Visual Studio for Selenium.
Correct. Yes.
So is there any difference between the performance or features when we use Eclipse or the Visual Studio?
See, we have used Visual Studio for C Sharp. Okay.
Hmm.
And there is not much difference, it's totally depends on the developer, who is developing the script. It's
Okay.
all about getting the familiar with the software.
Yep.
So, even me, I prefer Eclipse when I'm coding on Java. So that's
Okay.
the difference. So when I use C
Yeah.
Sharp, I use, Vansah, is this Visual Studio,
Visual Studio.
or for
Okay.
Java, Eclipse. Yeah.
Okay.
It totally
Okay.
depends
Yep.
on the,
Thank.
person, Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Thanks. Thanks. Sure.
Yes,
Perfect.
Vandana.
Yeah, it was a great demo. I have a query regarding the screenshots that which we are putting as a result. Earlier, what my requirement is that I need the complete screenshot with the scroll, means whatever you are scrolling down and what you see the complete web page, right? So
Mm.
earlier I was able to, using some tools like Go Full Page, I used to manually put this complete screenshot. Now using this Vansah C# binder, is it possible for me to get the complete screenshot with the scroll item which not able we are not able to see in the screen?
So currently we don't have any feature for adding the multiple screenshot for the test logs. But if I talk about the aspect of API, in APIs we do support it. The good part is with Vansah binding is you can customize it. So you can
Okay.
add your own functions there. You can utilize those functions in your current automation project. Yes, you can definitely
Yeah.
do that.
Okay.
I think in summary, Vandana, definitely as a developer or as a test engineer, you're obviously not limited to the function that you want to develop, right? Or the information that you want to send through. The sky's the limit for that. But obviously, as the binder is matured and enhanced, then those information can be sent through. So hopefully that sort of makes sense. But Mohana and Shubham, can you sort of speak to that as well?
Yes, definitely. Anyone can add anything in the customization part, in the binding part. So we also support many other APIs as well. So if you want to include like other functionalities, uh, like adding more screenshots, those kind of things, you can just customize the Vansah binding. Even for the
Yeah.
screenshot, whatever the function we are using, you can just replace it with your function, and then probably you can just make it work, after editing the Vansah binding.
Yeah, that's right. And I think probably should come to Vandana's point, and I think it's a really, really good discussion because you definitely want to send screenshots that are specific to your objective. Sometimes you don't want, sometimes engineers or developers or testers don't want to send a full screen because it doesn't really mean anything. At the end of the day, you don't want to be sort of working your way through a haystack to find what are you actually testing. And I think having that enhancement to be specific around what screenshot you're sending to Vansah through the binder, or to Vandana's point about not providing half-size screenshots, rather be intentional in that screenshot. I think Vandana's got her hand up. I'll pass back to Vandana. Thanks, Vandana.
Yeah, that's all, Hala. Yes, in my previous requirement, it was necessary to give the complete screenshot. So I raised it that do we have this feature? If not, then we should add it. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll definitely add it, Vandana. We already noted it down, so we will add this in the new release of Vansah binding. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Shubham. Yeah.
Thank you guys for joining this call. If still you guys have any question like after this call, you can just reach out to us in the community. You can raise some post over there, and also you can reach out to us from the customer portal. Thank you guys. Yeah.
Thank you, everyone.